It's getting hot out and the AC is not working. Today we're going to fix the AC system, 2008 Dodge Ram 3500 with a 6.7 liter Cummins. Now they're notorious that the clutch in the compressor will seize up on you, especially if you have any sort of leak and you run out of oil, lubricant, it'll seize them right up. So our plan today is we could just fix the clutch itself, but we don't know if it is just that problem or there might be more hidden issues. So we're doing the works. We're doing the compressor, the accumulator, the evaporator, the condenser. We're going to swap it all out, get this thing back up and rolling, and we're going to show you today how to do that really quick. So normally when we do this kind of work, we would take this truck, put it in the shop, get up on the hoist, and get down below it, make everything nice and easy to work on. Today we're going to do it how anyone else could do it at home. So we're on our backs, on the ground, do this from down below, up top on the front, making it nice and simple so that anyone at home can do this job. One thing I recommend is that you get all your refrigerant removed from a certified tech, as you don't want to put that into the environment. In our case, it leaked all out, so unfortunately there's nothing left in it, so we don't have to worry about that step. However, when we recharge the system, we'll be taking the truck into a shop to get it fully recharged, as we don't have the capacity here in this shop to do that. First thing you want to do before you get going is make sure your tires are turned to the right or to the passenger side, as you can get access into the wheel well here. I'm going to leave the tire on. You can take it off, make it easier, but I want to show you just how simple you can do this job. So while you're in here, it's a great time to check your belt. I looked at mine, it's pretty worn, got some cracks on the inside, so we're going to go ahead and replace that belt while we're in here. All right, we're going to start with the easiest thing first. We'll do the condensers out front. I'm going to pop off this protector. Got a few bolts to take out, and we're ready to pop this thing off. Okay, we'll break off our lines. We know that we're already depressurized, but if you don't think you're depressurized, good to check that. You can either hook up a pressure gauge on here, just give it a little tap. Nothing on that one, and do both sides. Yeah, no pressure there. All right, now we can comfortably take off our condenser. All right, our nuts holding on our lines here are 13 millimeters. Okay. And our main 4 securement bolts are also 1/2 inch. Come on. Okay, now it's out. The stock one sure seems a lot higher quality. Gaskets back on. Check our O-rings, make sure they're all good still. And now we got everything back on. And tightening up our bolts. Okay, now everything's all lined up. These lines are all good. And tighten up these the rest of the way. Alright guys, now the condenser is on, we're going to put our cover back on here. So again, it's just going to snap right in, nice and easy. Right in there, perfect. Alright, now we're going to work on the accumulator. So when replacing our accumulator, what we're going to do obviously is undo our lines, our connections here, which is a special tool that you need to do that, and I'll go grab it quick and show you. It kind of looks like a washer with little tabs on it. It'll slide inside of it and then pop the snap ring inside to release the hose off of your accumulator. Okay, so removing these lines here. Pop off your clips. There's one. There's number 2. Okay, now these still won't come out. So what you need to do now is figure out which size is the correct one. Goes over top. Like so, see that's a bit too small. Go next size up. Snap this over top. Nice and tight fit there. Let me get this ass backwards. And you'll know it goes in because it's going to snap up like that. There's still a bit of a pain in the butt to get out. There it goes. And just like that. Take that off now. The next one we got to loosen off the actual accumulator itself so that we can then walk it out. Now those are a 14 millimeter. What you do is just slightly loosen those off because now this thing can slide. So now we get our black tab back on here again. Over top. Go until it locks in. There we goes, just like that. I'm sure our accumulator was actually fine. The reason why I like to replace these whenever you have an issue with your AC system is that anything that could have gotten in here to contaminate the line will collect inside of here. So rather than putting all these new parts on, firing up and pushing all of that contaminant through your system, it's best to replace this. They're cheap, they're easy. Then you know that there's no contaminant that's going to go through your system and plug it up or do any other sort of damage. All right, so now with our new one, same setup, put it back in. Bit smaller bolts, we had a smaller socket for it. Get these all nice and snug once they're in there. Put our new lines on, replace our compressor, and we should be in business. Our new one will pop off our protection caps here. There we go. We'll start by pushing in, oh shit, onto our heater cord. It locks in right there. Tighten up our nuts. These are infamous 10 mil. I just dropped it, so I'll never find it again. Oh, no, don't lose that too. Okay, put our first clip back on. There we go. Pop off the other protecting cap here. Snap that hose on. This cap on. Make sure these tabs are locked down. There you have it. Accumulator is swapped out. Clean up our tools, now we're off to our compressor. Alright, so when you're replacing the AC compressor, basically if you're replacing your belt, do it now as you have everything off. It's a pain in the butt to replace these belts, but do it before you lose it. Due to the fact that my tensioner actually has some fraying on the pulley, I don't have this part right now. I'm not going to do this today, so for now, we're going to pull the belt off, undo our electrical connection in the back here, then we can unbolt our lines in the back for the AC. And we got 4 bolts, they're both 13 millimeters. The 2 in the bottom, you actually have access on the frame up top here. There's holes in the frame, so you get to those on the top. And then for the top 2 bolts, we'll just take the shroud out in the fender well here and get access to the top. Once it popped out, repeat the steps in reverse, and your AC compressor is replaced. So let's get after it. All right, so we're going to try with our small ratchet here. There we go. And then set it right there. Yeah, I can hear some clinking in there. Something is not right inside of that. So now on our electrical connection here. Okay, there it goes. Pops out all the way, that's fine. Put it back in after. And now we can disconnect this plug. There it goes. Okay. You might get some oil dripping out of here, depending on how much your compressor has in it still. Make sure you don't damage any of your gaskets in there. Okay. Then we get our 13 mil, take out our 4 bolts here, drop the compressor out, and then put a new one in. Easy peasy. We're going to try it without taking this off here first and see if we can do this. Honestly, for me, less things removed, the better. Nice. There we have it. Now every AC compressor is different, so that's why it's imperative to read the instruction manuals. On mine it tells me that a pink label on the bottom here means that it's pre-charged with 3 ounces of oil. Now make sure on yours, maybe pink means it's not, maybe pink means it is. Just double check on your instruction manual. Now although there's 3 in here, because we replaced the accumulator and the condenser, we do need to add more oils. Alright, so now that we have verified that the oil that's currently in this compressor is compatible with our system, next step now is to install this compressor, put the belt on, plug it in, and then we will take off this cap in the back here, put our new lines on, bolt it back up, and we're good to go. Alright, when installing this compressor, we need to make sure that we have our bottom bolts already started in here, or else it's not going to fit. So we'll put these in to start, because you won't get them in once it's up there. And now we can lift this up. Put her there. Top bolts. Fish these in up top here. Okay. I'm gonna put our belt back on. Come on. Almost. There. Belt is back on. I need to remove our cap here. They're 1/2 inch. And we have these brand new gaskets we're gonna put on as well. There's one of the old ones there. Pop off the other one. There we go. Let's say they might be under pressure, so careful when you take the screw off. Okay, there's the cap out. We're going to put our new gaskets on. There we go. Put our bolt back in. Grab our 10mm socket. Okay. Plug it back in. I can find the connector now. There it is. There, it snapped in. Grab that little red tab that we dropped. Snap that through. There we go. Done. Alright, there we have it. We have our compressor replaced. We have our accumulator and our condenser all swapped out, ready to go. When we bring it to the shop, they're going to do our vacuum test, our leak check, and then refill it with about 3 to 4 ounces of oil, and then fill it full of refrigerant. This truck is good to go.